And a very good morning to you. Dwight Davis with you for our bird notes today. Tail wagging in birds, that is, moving the tail up and down, may seem an inconsequential thing, but in terms of field identification, it can be very important. For example, a small dark bird sitting upright on a branch in the shaded understory is immediately recognized as a phoebe because of the persistent tail wagging. And there are those who claim to be able to use tail wagging as a key in helping to identify those almost impossible to distinguish little Empidonax flycatchers. So what other birds wag their tails, and further, why? There's a group of sleek little birds called wagtails, which pump their tails up and down, thus their name. They're Eurasian birds, not seen here, but their close relative, the American pipit, can be observed here, wagging his tail. The spotted sandpiper bobs his body and tail up and down, as does the related wandering tattler of the Pacific. That accomplished songster, the hermit thrush, has a habit of cocking his tail upward and then more slowly lowering it. And there are warblers of the genus Dendroica whose tail wagging can aid in identification. The very rare Kirtland's warbler, the palm warbler, which does not frequent palms, by the way, and the prairie warbler, which is not a prairie dweller, by the way. Also, the water thrushes, which are not thrushes but warblers, tend to teeter like the spotted sandpiper. So what are we to make of this list of tail waggers? Perhaps nothing, but looking more closely, there are some vague links. Most of these birds tend to be terrestrial, ground feeders and dwellers. They seem to prefer watery or at least damp habitats. They're not, for the most part, especially showy birds in terms of plumage, and spots or streaks on the breast are evident. So, the unanswered questions. What is the relationship between spotted breasts and tail wagging? Between ground dwelling and tail wagging? And why do birds wag their tails anyway? What is the adaptive advantage of tail wagging, if any? Does anybody know? Does anybody need a good topic for a master's degree in ornithology?